If you're one of these virtue signalling people who advocated for refugees' welcome and posted pictures of yourself with that placard on social media, then what happened in France, it's on you. What happened in the Manchester Arena is on you. And every attack on an innocent Westerner or an innocent person or persons by someone who is illegal migrant or someone who claims to be a refugee fleeing a so-called war-torn country, it's on you. And though I have tried, I just can't get my head around and see your point of view regarding this, that they are all, each and every man of them, I would say men, women and children, but they are mostly men. And I don't understand, I can't see what you're seeing, that they are all poor people escaping a war-torn country. I don't see it. Because logic dictates to me, if somebody is escaping a war-torn country, they take the whole family with them. They don't go by themselves. I wouldn't dream of leaving my other half and kids behind to look for a better life for myself and leaving them in such danger that they could fall into the hands of whatever enemy is stirring trouble in your country, and they could end up being tortured, enslaved, murdered, etc. And I don't understand why you would cross several safe countries to get to Britain for safety. I don't get it. Now, I am of course talking about the latest act of violence caused by a refugee this time. In the French Alps, several young kiddies were stabbed. Mercifully, none have died, and I sincerely hope and pray that none do, and they're too young to remember what happened. But this guy went round a playground, stabbed several kids, and shouted in the name of Jesus, apparently, which is odd, and I don't get that either. So it doesn't add up. And thank God for the Frenchman with the backpack who fought him off. I do not doubt for 1 second that it could have been worse had that hero not been there at that time. Of course, the governments are trying to figure out the guy's motive, as ever, because, you know, if it was a Caucasian Westerner doing exactly the same thing towards ethnic minority victims, then no doubt the words far right would be flung everywhere without hesitation. And speaking about the far right, it's interesting that Sly News tweeted this by a guy called Fawaz Shorges. And this guy is a professor of international relations and an author, but this is what he said, and I quote, "It seems to me the French police, not the anti-terror unit, have taken charge, which tells me it's not a terrorism case, but my fear is, regardless of the outcome, the fact that the suspect is a refugee will be used by the far right." End quote. And Sky News disabled the comments to this tweet as well, shockingly. Now, what the hell does the far right have to do with this? Because the guy wasn't your usual far right stereotype. He isn't Caucasian, he doesn't have a skinhead, and he didn't have any Nazi tattoos and a swastika flag flying everywhere, so what gives? And then someone came out with Christian terrorism. Christian terrorists don't do this. I mean, all right, okay, in the United States, you have your extreme Christians, and they attack synagogues and abortion clinics, etc. But here in Europe, they are, if anything, they're too cowardly. They haven't got the bollocks to do anything like this. Especially here in the UK, the real far right are in the margins. These are mainly lonely Caucasian single boys who idolise Herr Hitler on the internet and say the most extreme things, but never ever follow them up. They live with their mothers and don't have any friends. But this doesn't add up. A Syrian refugee stabbing little children in the name of Jesus Christ. It doesn't add up, does it? Does it to you? Well, it certainly doesn't to me. But I'm pretty sure the far right have nothing to do with it. And it's all to do with the elephant in the room, which nobody ever talks about or mentions. And regarding that clown on Sky News whom they quoted on Twitter, I don't understand what's far right about wanting to know exactly who's entering your country in order to keep people safe. Baffling, isn't it? And there we go, that's my video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next time, Roger Trout.